What's good, guys? JJJBoxing here, punching in. So we got a really good heavyweight fight, as you can see. I have up on the screen. We got Luis Ortiz versus Andy Ruiz. It's Ortiz versus Luiz, and I just want to talk about who I think is going to win and my prediction stuff. But I want to talk about like the weight for Andy as well in this video, and the age for Ortiz. So first off, I think this is going to be like a really good fight. I don't see this being a boring fight at all. Ortiz is always in a very good fight, and Ruiz is usually in a good fight if the guy he's fighting is willing to exchange with him. So both fighters are in good fights. I would say Ortiz is he's a better boxer in my opinion, and he can make action out of nothing, where I feel like Ruiz, as we seen in the Joshua rematch, had no answer for Joshua when Joshua was on his bike for a lot of the fight and didn't want to engage. Andy just didn't know how to catch him when a guy didn't want to engage. But I feel like Ortiz still knows how to tag you and hit you up when you're even if you're in survival mode. So I just feel like Ortiz is the better boxer, and but I just can't see this fight being a bad fight, to be honest. Just the styles are it's a good matchup. So we got King Kong here. I got his profile up here on BoxRec. As you can see, he is 43 years old, possibly 50, who knows, right? Because it is Cuba, and their birth certificates are sometimes like all over the place. But as far as we know, he is 43 years old, and he still looks really good. And it is heavyweight, so I think it takes less of that away. If he was a lighter division, this would be a huge red flag, obviously, if you were 43. And not red flag, but it would be really concerning. It would be really hard to pick him to win against a top hungry younger fighter if he was 43 in the lower divisions. Not many fighters can do it in the lower divisions. Like Pacquiao lasted until, 41 against Ugas, and then it could have just been a bad night for Pacquiao. But I just feel like Pacquiao was having more and more cramps in his legs, and he's always blaming his legs. Like, it wasn't the first time that he was blaming his calves and his legs for kind of cramping up. He's done it before in the past, but it did it again in the Ugas fight, and it makes you wonder, maybe it's just not the night, maybe it's just age. And so Pacquiao lasted until 40, so he was pretty good. That's a way above the average, though, the standard. Usually after 35 in the lower divisions, you're on severely declining. And for heavyweight, it's a bit different. Especially nowadays, you can last a bit longer than you were before. But 43 for heavyweight is still old, obviously, for any sport. But he's still performing really well. And the fact that it's heavyweight and one punch can change it, and they don't rely as much on, really a lot of activity. They just need to land one punch and it could be over, right? One combination. So it's more timing, and obviously timing isn't as good. Yeah, sorry guys, the video cut out there. But anyway, like I was saying, timing could go as you get older as well. So yeah, I can't put that past age as well. That could happen. But I think Ortiz still got it. And yeah, I feel like 43, he's still showing that he's a top heavyweight. And I think he's at least a top 5 heavyweight, if not top 3, with Wilder and Fury and Usyk. So, yeah, BoxRec has he has him ranked like 10, I think, and I really disagree with that, to be honest. But anyway, you got to question too the hunger of Andy Ruiz. He did come in at 268, and it's not terrible because he did come in at 268 versus Joshua in the first fight, and he looked good in that fight. In the second fight, he came in at 280 versus Joshua, and obviously he looked bad. I don't think that's a good weight for him at all. But in the Areola fight, I felt like he came back. He tried to prove people wrong, like, oh, look, I'm in the gym and stuff, and I'm working hard. And he did come in at 256, and I thought that was very good. But for some reason, he put on weight again, and I don't know if maybe... I did hear him talking about it, that he felt like he lost too much weight in that fight, and that he should just be himself and not worry about looking the part, but just being the part. And I do know what he's saying there, but I feel like looking the part and being the part can be the part. You know what I mean? Like if you look like you're 280, like you did in the Joshua fight, you're not going to be the part. But 268, he did look decent at that weight, so I can't really say if that's a bad weight for him. He knows his body. He knows if he trained hard or not. That's all we can go by. But what do you call it? Let's go back to BoxRec here just to look at Andy Ruiz's record here. All right, yeah. So King Kong has the reach advantage, 78, and he has the height advantage, which I don't know why they say Ruiz is inactive. I don't know why. Is he? Did he? I don't know why they're saying that. But, okay, he's 6'2", 74. So King Kong has 4-inch reach advantage, 2-inch height advantage. Yeah, so... But, and, like, again, guys, when you look at the weight, I always thought that Andy was around 260, but I was actually wrong. He used to come in at 250, 257, 254, 250, 246. So he was lighter. And then he just started really putting on the weight. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay, that's his opponent's weight. This is his weight, I think. Or who am I looking at right now, actually? Okay, yeah. So this is his weight on the left. So if you look at his weights, he used to come in at 240s and 250s. It's just recently that he started really... Well, not recently, but it seems like as the years went by, he was putting on more weight as his career. And like I said, your metabolism slows down, so that could just be the case there. But I really do feel like, in my personal opinion, after that Joshua first fight and he won all those titles there, he lost the hunger and that was it. And you could see he went up to 283 in a rematch against the guy who you got your belts from. That's kind of disrespectful too. You go into a rematch who you won everything from and you don't respect him by coming in at 283. You don't even... It's like you weren't hungry at all and you didn't even show respect to not even yourself but your opponent by showing that you took it seriously because you thought you were just going to easily win the fight, I guess. And that's concerning to me. Like, is he just in it for the paycheck now? Is he just too materialistic, right? Because if you look at the weigh-in, obviously, like, you seen him at the press conference. He was wearing the fancy chains, diamond chains and stuff. And then, like, say, like, you look at his, what do you call it? He's got his family here. What was it? Where is it? You see, there's this, I don't know if that's his son or his cousin. He's got, like, glasses on with diamonds in it, the tracksuit. They're trying to show that persona that they're rich, right? So are they too materialistic now? Are they too money hungry? And then you look at like Ruiz over here. He's just regular Cuban trying to feed his family. You know what I mean? He's not all flashy. And I'm not saying that's wrong. Maybe that is for some people. Maybe being materialistic. I think it's a bad thing to be materialistic. But I'm saying maybe money hungry can be a good motivation for you to train harder. Like look at Floyd Mayweather, right? The money can motivate people. But for me personally, that wouldn't motivate me good. That would be a distraction for me, and I wouldn't fight as good if I was only fighting for money. I fight for the primitive, the primitive nature of fighting, like me, like being victorious against you, me being the superior animal, pretty much. Like I'm beating you in a fight, like pretty much a fight to the death. I'm superior to you. I walk away from this, you don't, kind of thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's primitive, you know what I mean? That's how I look at a fight, you know what I mean? Like, that's what motivates me. But like I said, instinct comes into play during the fight, so maybe during the fight you feel like that. But I'm saying in training camp, what are you training for? Are you training for just that paycheck and more money? Like I said, that might be a good motivation for some people. Maybe not. For him, maybe it could be bad, right? Like what I'm saying, because he put on a lot of weight after that Joshua fight. He got lazy after he won that paycheck. So maybe money's not, now that money's not a motivation really, right? Like, because he has so much money. Maybe what else, what's replacing that money motivation, right? Like Luis Ortiz, he just wants to win the title. That's his last goal. That's the only reason why I think he's still fighting. He wants to bring the title back. Well, obviously he doesn't live in Cuba anymore, but his Cuban pride, and just for himself, he's fighting for himself, and he wants to win that title. So he's fighting for like real admirable reasons, you know what I mean? Like he wants to bring back, he wants that title, you know what I mean? Yeah, guys, so I don't know. This is going to be a good fight, though. That's all I'm saying. This is going to be a good fight. Yeah, we'll see. I got my money on Ortiz, though, by knockout. Well, not by knockout. Like, I bet on him just to straight out win. But I think I'm picking Ortiz to win by knockout. Like, that's how I think he will win. But I got my money on him just because the odds are so good on like Ortiz. Like, he's like a heavy underdog. I have no reason. I don't know why he's that big of an underdog. But this is the perfect fight to bet on, guys, because when a guy is a heavy underdog and he actually has the skills that an Ortiz have, it's hard to pass up an opportunity not to bet on a guy like this. It's just like Bivol versus Canelo. I was watching Bivol for years, and I knew he was going to beat Canelo 100% as long as the judges didn't fuck him over. And that's why I won big on that fight when I bet on Bivol. And this is kind of the same kind of scenario where instead of Bivol being a heavy underdog, it's Ortiz. Ortiz has very good skills. This is heavyweight, though, so it's not as guaranteed as a Bivol win. But like I said, the judges obviously are going to fuck Ortiz possibly, so that could happen, but I feel like the judges are even more crazy for Canelo. So it kind of equals out a little bit. The heavyweight power could obviously factor into the odds, right? Whereas a fight like at light heavyweight, you're not going to have that same type of power to end the fight. But yeah, guys, I'm not a financial advisor, but I would put my money on Ortiz. And I'm not saying it's a guaranteed bet. Like the Bivol Canelo, I thought was a guaranteed bet as long as the judges did their job. But in this fight, Andy Ruiz does have the explosiveness and the quick hands to land a good combination on Ortiz and possibly hurt him and stop the fight. I really do. That is a possibility. But I think if it does go to decision, Ortiz should win if the judges are fair. And I just think that the skills of Ortiz and his southpaw power, that straight left hand, could land on Andy and possibly knock him out. So yeah, I got Ortiz, and yeah, guys, let me know who you got. And this is JJJBoxing punching out. Take care, guys. Hopefully I don't got to film this again. Hopefully it didn't cut out.